Hello, I'm Kiran Ramjisingh, and this is my IT 250 final. So I think the best way to walk you through this website would be to just follow the order of the rubric. So the first thing is page titles. This is the homepage for Petto Animal Rescue, and as such, in the title, or in the tab I should say, the title is Petto Animal Rescue homepage. If I move over to the Adopt Now, you'll see Petto Adopt Now. You can go to the Connect tab, Petto Social Links, and finally the newsletter, Petto-newsletter. Next up is the page width. You'll see on all these pages, I have it set to 75. That way it's not stretching across people's monitors, making it kind of annoying to read. On each page, we have some floats. You'll see on this page, the first page, we have more than two images at the bottom, one float to the left, one floated to the right. And inside of this div tag here, this little box, the paragraph text is floated to the left. Keep it on the left side of this box. I mentioned that because you'll see it across all these pages, except for this one. It's floated to the left. On newsletters page, we have two more floats left to right, similar to the index page. And the Adopt Now, the float is this one's to the left, this one's to the right. After floats, there are three bootstrap elements. Back on the index page, we have a carousel that goes through a few of the animals you can find at the shelter. The Adopt Now page has another bootstrap element, cards. The Connect site also has cards, doesn't count towards the three. And finally, newsletter has the third one where it's a form. You can put your email in, check a few boxes what you want to be notified of, and it will put you on the newsletter. After Bootstrap, we have lists. I have two lists, an unordered list going over the benefits of adopting an animal, and then I have an ordered list talking about some of the steps it would take to go through and adopt an animal. Each page has two images. I'll go through from the next page again. Two images at the bottom right here, and then there's some in the carousel. Adopt Now, each card has its own image for each pet. The Connect site, these cards have little images in here to show what social media site they go to. And the newsletter has two more images at the bottom. Now, all of these images have their own alternate text. I think the best way to show you that would be to hop over into Dreamweaver. So here we are in Dreamweaver now, and let's start on the index page, source code. So if we remember, we have the carousel here and the two images at the bottom. So looking here at the carousel, we can see the alt text for each of these is the type of animal it is, and then the name of that animal. That's how I handled the cards and the carousel images. If I scroll down where we had the two images at the bottom, the alternate text is women with brown dog and girl playing with cat. If I go to the adopt page, like I had said, the alt text describes the animal. If it got too generic, like it was a cat, I would go through and say like gray cat, blue eyes, bunny in grass, things like that. Newsletter site has those two images at the bottom of some animals at the computer. So I'll show you the alternate text there is dog looking at PC, kitten on keyboard. Finally, if I go to social, go to the source code, each of the images inside of the cards will have alternate text that just tells you what site it is. Here we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, so on and so forth. On each page, I made sure the CSS style sheet was linked underneath of the Bootstrap one. The CSS that all my pages connect to is petto.css. I can quickly go through each page and show you that is underneath the Bootstrap. Scroll up to the top. There you go. And finally on the last one, it's there. While I'm here, I can also show you on each page that we have container fluid under each body tag to make sure all these pages are responsive. Each page should have the same header. Inside the header, I wanted to keep it simple. It just has the navigation bar, a Bootstrap navigation bar. I customized mine to have on the left side of it the name of the shelter, and it's also a link to the homepage. And on the right side, we have the 3 child pages. So this is the code for it here. Each site has the exact same one. They're all encased within the header. And the last page, there we go. The 3 bootstrap elements. Let's see, I have cards on this page here. We happen to be on the social site right now. And we can see the cards here. It's the code for them. There's also more cards on the adopt page. Quickly move to them right here. Make this full screen. On the index page, we had the carousel. That is right here. And the last bootstrap element, not including the navigation bar, of course, is the form, the bootstrap form. I use a lot of custom classes and IDs in all of these sites. To take a look at a few on the HTML side, I have like div class animals on the homepage, div class mission. Those were to get this mission up here in this blue box. And then animals was for this carousel. I took a more streamlined approach with the other pages. I began to use main, and that was all the main stuff on the page. So for adopt specifically, that was the cards. If you go to his newsletter, I have main newsletter. This one here, I wanted to have some of the formatting from the original main class, but a couple things I needed to change just to make sure it would fit properly with the flow of the sites. And in social, I have main again as used. If I go back to index, I can show some custom IDs. These 2 images at the bottom got their own IDs. I believe they were called added image 1 and added image 2. Yes, right here. And I'll show the CSS for these in a little bit. First, I want to show the footer. The footer of these pages really quickly looks like this. It says connect with us. We have some icons going to different websites, the respective website of the image, and just the brand, location, and a phone number. The code for that is right here, and it's universal across all the sites. You can see here with the href links and the images, and their alternate text, of course. Each page has the same thing. I'll quickly show that. So after that, we can go on to the petto.css. All of my pages, the main page and the child pages, link back to the same style sheet. That made a lot of things really easy. That's why I said I used main before. I can find that really quickly. The main class, it made doing CSS for all these different pages very easy to have it like this. Those are custom classes. If I go to some IDs, here we go, added image 1 and 2. Those are some added IDs. The font for the body is changed from default. If I go to my body section here, we can see the font family. We started with Calibri, and there's a few fallbacks here. On each of the pages, I kind of followed Dreamweaver's formatting. There is a code formatter they have in Dreamweaver that kind of brings your code together and puts it in a nice readable way. So I kind of took what they did and I slight tweaks to it just for my visibility, but mostly kept it based on what they gave me. You can see all like the div tags line up properly and things like that. Very easy to go through and understand what's happening where. I did this on all the sites. I can quickly go through and show. Same thing here with the divs, all their other tags. Everything just kind of lines up and it makes it a lot easier. So this can also be seen with petto.css. Like I said, I use their formatter. They got rid of the spaces in between tags. I had a lot of like spaces before like that. So that cleaned all that up, kept everything in line, super easy to read and go through fast. So that wraps up the tour of my Petto Animal Shelter website. Thanks for watching.